Freljord has many characters, but most of them are tied to one of the three main tribes. Let's learn about them all and how they are connected. However, keep in mind that this video will have slight spoilers about some stories and especially the Ashe comic. We'll be learning more about the history of the Freljord in the timeline video, but to have some foundations, Freljord is a land created and blessed by demigods. They all are brothers and sisters, but that doesn't mean they are on good terms. Udyr, the god of thunder and war, had a good relationship with Ornn, the god of craftsmanship, but now they are mortal enemies. Another rebirth demigod is Anivia, the god of hope, life and death. There were several other demigods like Udyr, the Iron Boar, or the Seal Sister, but not much is known about them. Why has the Freljord forgotten about them? It all dates back to around 9,000 years ago, when three sisters, Avarosa, Serilda and Lysandra, united the Freljord under the same banner. Wanting to avoid wars and to improve the living conditions in such a hostile climate, they pushed toward the unification of the Freljord, with them three in control of the nation. Some demigods wanted to work with them, like Anivia, but others did not want to accept humans ruling their land, like Udyr and Udyr. Ivern, being a follower of the former, also was against them three, and although he couldn't stop the three sisters, Udyr did manage to permanently blind Lysandra, and she was not the only one to lose something important. Serilda lost her voice to the first aspect of Twilight, and Avarosa lost her hearing to the Void. Coincidentally, Avarosa was not the only one who contacted the Void, and Lysandra did too with their masters, the Watchers. Promising great powers and immortality in exchange for preparing Runeterra for their coming, Lysandra accepted, but selling away their freedom to otherworldly creatures did not sit well with the other two, and their disagreement ended up breaking the united Freljord they had built, and war raged. In the last battle of this war, Lysandra opened the way for the Watchers into Runeterra, but upon seeing how twisted and dangerous they actually were, she betrayed them and used all the magic power in the battlefield to bury them along her sisters under ice, so they would not wake up ever again. Gnar was also present in the battlefield fighting against the Watchers, and although he also got frozen, he has finally woken up from his cryosleep. Since then, Lysandra has founded the Frostguard, a religious tribe focused on preserving the history of the Freljord, but not the real one. The one she started to rewrite. She has been hiding away the fact that Runeterra is on the verge of destruction because of her, and prohibiting telling legends of the old demigods to further reduce their power, while propagating the cult of the Three Sisters, retelling the events in her own way. She found an ally in Trundle, the king of trolls, giving him a true ice club in exchange for pledging allegiance to her. However, it's not clear how much Trundle knows about her, as she has been brainwashing his trolls, and he doesn't seem to fully understand what's the truth behind the Ice Witch. But just as she couldn't fully eliminate the legends of the old gods, she couldn't rewrite the story of the three sisters having her as the sole leader, and some tribes began to venerate her other two sisters. The followers of Avarosa were called the Avarosans, and Grena was their leader. The tribe was not big, but it was strong. Grena had already appointed a successor, her daughter Ashe, and she even had the help of Malcolm, a frost priest from the Frostguard, who also had a fairly good relationship with Ashe that had potential for something more. The followers of Serilda were called the Winter's Claw, although they didn't profess such veneration towards their ancestor like the Avarosans. Under the leadership of Aegean, the tribe found Udyr, a spirit walker channeling the power from the demigods who was hunted by the Frostguard, and adopted him in their ranks, sending their daughter Kalkia to train with him. Even though they fell in love, Udyr was banished from the tribe as he couldn't control the spirits. When in time Kalkia became the leader, she allowed him back in the tribe, but he didn't come back to avoid putting them in danger. After giving birth to Sejuani, Kalkia left the tribe, chasing the one man she truly loved. With the Winter's Claw back on Aegean's hands, they developed a good relationship with the Avarosans, as she was friends with Grena, and Sejuani found in Ashe her best and only friend. However, the two leaders had a fallout, and the tribes began to walk separate paths. Things didn't turn out well for Kalkia either, as she never found Udyr. He had met an Ionian monk named Lysin, and they had developed such a strong bond that they even traveled to the monk's homeland to train together. Alone and heartbroken, she came back and reclaimed the Winter's Claw. The Avarosans began their fall with Grenna's obsession with the figure of Avarosa, putting the whole tribe at risk, and Malcolm, obeying the will of Lysandra, killed them all as they were getting too close to the truth. When Ash found out it was him the one who slaughtered her whole tribe, her vengeance was swift, without any feelings clouding her decision, becoming the sole survivor of the Avarosans. Alone, she met Sejuani once again, and swore to be battle sisters and to always protect each other, but the promise was soon broken after Ash chose mercy instead of power, and became sworn enemies. Ash rebuilt her tribe from zero by welcoming everyone with no home, and in time it has grown to be the biggest tribe of the Freljord. She recruited Gragas as drinking was a powerful diplomatic tool, and the legendary Iceborne Braum is also part of them. In an attempt to further strengthen her tribe, she married Tryndamere, one of the sole survivors of his tribe, after a foreign bloodthirsty entity called Aatrox massacred it, but the political marriage soon evolved into true love. Even with Tryndamere coming from a tribe which revered Udyr, the desire for unity of the Avarosans seems to have achieved even the approval of Anivia. Although the diplomacy of this tribe apparently knows no bounds, the line is drawn at trolls. They despise their whole race, and Ash seeks the extermination of them, and trolls actively attack and raid Avarosan settlements. The Winter's Claw also had changes, as Sejuani challenged Kalkia to a duel for the control of the tribe, and she killed her in combat. Under her rule, her tribe also strengthened. Udyr finally came back from Ionia, and searching for Kalkia, he found the Winter's Claw was now under her daughter's rule, and became the tribe's shaman as well as the leader's oathfather. Not only that, but after receiving a blessing from the Seal Sister herself, he's more in control of his powers than ever. Olaf challenged the tribe to a fight, desiring to have an epic death in battle, but as they could not grant it to him, he joined them. And Scar Mother Brina, a member of the Winter's Claw since her birth, grew to become the second in command, and have her own war party with her own shamanka, Torva. This proved to be problematic for her, as her ominous prophecies forced her to forge an allegiance with Silas, a mysterious warrior from Demacia in whom she didn't trust. Apparently, Silas' physique also proved to be a strong reason for Torva's desire to protect him. Last but not least, Legless Creek is also an important asset for the tribe, a blind prophet who was blessed by Ornn, who convinced Sejuani to look for the demigod of the Forge. The Winter's Claw has a troubled relationship with Volibear, as they have asked for his strength in the past, but after realizing how primal and savage the Great Bear was, they no longer seek his help. Nunu and his mother Laika were part of the Notai, a nomadic tribe who shared stories and legends, making them an obvious target for the Frostguard. After they attacked them, Laika's whereabouts are unknown, but the Frostguard fostered Nunu in their own tribe. Lysandra inquired him about the tales of the Notai, as she wanted to learn more about Willamp, a fabled Jedi. Nunu, wanting to impress her, went in search of him, although when they met, they became best friends forever, and now both roam the Freljord in search of Laika. Other characters with ties to the Freljord are, for example, Bane, who traveled here to find a tutor to teach her about how to fight dark magics. She found Frey, a hunter who chased after the Ice Witch and his minions who killed her children, and became her mentor, although Bane ended up killing her when she learned about her true nature. Rice, in his endless wandering through Runeterra, found a young man dying in solitude called Keegan. Seeing potential in him, he saved his life and took him as his apprentice. However, Keegan's impulsive and violent nature gave in to the power of the runes, and, trying to use one, his being was obliterated from Runeterra and was transformed into Brand, a violent being of fire and fury. Even Darius, an Oxian conqueror, was captured in the Freljord by the Winter's Claw in his campaign to expand his empire. And that was it for Freljord. Did you learn something new? Or at least found it interesting? I really hope you enjoyed it, so please tell me your thoughts in the comments. Wanna know more? Watch Freljord's timeline for more info about these characters, or the rest of the Journey in Runeterra series to discover other regions. Thanks for watching!